Hello and welcome to Baby Steps with Dorcas, where baby stands for building a better you. I've lost 40 pounds through fasting, focus, and faith, and I am here to help you to become a better, brilliant, and beautiful you. All right, so let's get into it. In today's video, I'm going to discuss the 5 things that I did to let go of the scale. Y'all, let's talk about it. Let's talk about that scale, okay? Okay, so I know that I have been on so many diets. I've said this before. I've been on so many diets, and I would go on my diets and I would be eating my broccoli and my chicken breast every day and exercising and what have you. And I would be like, okay, let's get on the scale. Let's do it. So I get on the scale and it wouldn't work out like I wanted it to work out. And I wouldn't see that number that I wanted to see. Here's the thing. I was addicted to a former version of myself. Like there's a number that I have in my head that is associated with the old Dorcas, with a younger Dorcas, with a skinny Dorcas, right? And I have that number. I still have the number in my head. Still right now. I know how much I weighed when I was feeling a little more satisfied with my body. I, over the years, would try to get to that number. And so I want to discuss what else I did. I have a whole thing that I do to weigh myself. So first of all, I'm weighing naked. I'm weighing in the morning, and I'm weighing after I have gone to the bathroom sufficiently. All right. So all of those 3 things have to happen before I weigh in the morning. And so I would be weighing myself. And every time I weighed myself and I didn't see the number that I wanted within a week, because I was weighing at least, once a week, maybe a couple times a week, I get on the scale, I wouldn't see the number, and I would be ruined for the whole day. That whole thing would ruin my entire day. So what I would do is I'd be like, I'm taking a break. I'm going to eat whatever I want today. And I would be feeling low and sad and just so beating up on myself. And what was that all for? Sometimes I would do it on Sunday, and then I'd go to church feeling bad. And then I read something that said, hey, you should weigh on Wednesday, because on Wednesday, that will be the lowest that you will weigh during the whole week. I weighed on Wednesday and I didn't see what I wanted. I still wasn't happy. And I hate that. I hate that. I was just so focused on the number. I've heard people over the years say, you still have a scale? And usually they were at the weight that they wanted to be. But they were focused on something different. Can I talk about what to focus on? Let's talk about that. One time I was talking about my body and all of that. I teach beauty school, and one of my students said, Miss D, body dysmorphia is real. Like, you don't look bad. Body dysmorphia is real. And it is. It is very real, and you could have lost 100 pounds and still feel like you're 100 pounds overweight. Or 40 pounds like me and still feel like you're 40 pounds overweight. Here's the thing. My number is probably about 30 pounds less than what I am right now. So how do I get over that? The one thing that I started doing is I started measuring in a way, like maybe taking measurements, maybe like a waist measurement, maybe bust, hips, that kind of stuff. I started taking measurements. Those measurements, and I wouldn't look at those too much. I would look at those after like a month or something like that, because that could also get me discouraged. But I definitely would take measurements because measurements are better. Also, I would take pictures. I would take pictures. Pictures are so telling. So I would pose the same in the picture. So maybe I'll take a picture in June and then I'll take another picture a month later in July just to see my progress. So those are things that I would do. Take pictures. The next thing that I would measure are my workouts. Am I getting stronger? Do I have more stamina with my workouts? Am I lifting heavier? Those types of things. Can I walk further? How quickly can I do this mile? Can I do a mile in 15 minutes instead of 17 or 18 minutes? Those are things that I measure when instead of the scale. Another thing that I measure is I'm going to measure clothes. So, what I mean by that is I'm going to go and buy something that maybe is not, that doesn't fit as well as I want it to, and then work my way down into that outfit. That is what I'm talking about. Working my way down into that outfit instead of getting on the scale. Because the real measure is maybe you're building muscle and you're not going to go down on the scale. Because that's what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on building muscle. Muscle is heavier than fat. And so my body might be shifting and changing, right? My body might be changing. Then, the clothes might fit a little bit differently. Maybe those pants that I couldn't zip up and button, I can zip them up and button them now. So those are things. Those are the 5 things that I would do instead of getting on the scale. Don't get discouraged. Stop getting on the scale as much. Not to say that I don't weigh. I weigh sometimes, maybe once a month, maybe once every other month. But I definitely am not like getting up. I would get up out of the bed and look to see what I weighed, maybe every other day. And I can't do that because it does something mentally to me. So make sure that you are doing things that keep you motivated, to go on your path. Okay. I want you to have an awesome day. All right.